Previously on Stillwater Bay, Sheila Tulane stands among the trees, watching the day die. Scarlet-painted clouds rush on above her, like ragged sails on a ghost ship. She glances down at the knife, which she clutches in one hand. The handle is made of polished bone, and the thin, razor-sharp blade tapers to a point. Teague said it's made of Damascus steel, but that matters little to Sheila. To her, it is a tool, one which will taste blood before the day is through. Across the street, crimson sunlight glimmers in the windows of Core Fitness and renders the glass in the brick building opaque. She cannot see her intended victim. She will meet Sam Karstens in less than 30 minutes. The blonde will smile, and when she turns her back, Sheila will thrust the knife between her ribs. Sheila trembles. The blonde has never harmed her, has never shown her anything but kindness. She harbors no hate for Sam Karstens. Still, she must kill her. It's what Teague wants. Teague. The thought of him sets her soul on fire. She wants him, needs him, will do anything he asks. Anything. Sheila shoves the knife into a purse and zips it shut. She waits. Asadi, you're not trying. Asadi stares at the blue exercise mat beneath his bare feet. It covers the large floor from one end of the room to the other. Several tiers have been mended with silver duct tape, but one small one, the one near his left foot, has not. He can't seem to take his eyes off it. Are you listening? Sam asks. Sorry, Miss Karstens. It's Sam, not Miss Karstens. Anything but Miss Karstens. Sorry, Sam. Let's try this again. Come at me. Only this time, mean it. Asadi glances up. Clad in pink sweats, her hair pulled back in a ponytail, Sam stands with her hands raised. She's a tiger, ready to spring. Come on, Sam says. I can't wait all day. I've got another client coming in at 3:30. Asadi takes a deep breath. He extends his arm, makes a fist, and rushes forward. Stop, Sam says. Asadi freezes and cracks an eye open. He's 6 inches from her nose. She taps his fist. What the hell is this? I'm going to punch you. I saw it on UFC. It's a Superman punch. Are you Bizarro Superman? Who? Put it down. He drops his hand. Sam shakes her head. Why are your eyes closed? It's easier for me. How? You can't see me. I don't want to see you. Asadi's face prickles with heat. He wants to get away from her. Far away. I need more practice, Miss Sam. Could I go back to the wooden dummy? The Mu Ren Zhuang has already kicked your ass twice today, and judging by that bruise on your face, a human opponent would do far less damage. No, we're going to keep at it. Asadi shakes his head. I can't do this. Why not? You're a woman, and You don't think I can beat you? Oh, no, I'm sure you can beat me. A 70-year-old man can beat me. That wooden dummy over there can beat me. Sam crosses her arms. You're afraid you'll hurt me. Yes, no, I don't want to hit you. I've sworn I'll never touch a woman in anger, never strike or harm a woman. Doing this, it goes against everything I believe. You want someone else to train you? Asadi nods. Please, perhaps Mr. Delory could help. Sam paces the mat. Her ice-blue gaze bores into him. Males haven't cornered the market on evil. The things we fight are female too. Are you going to step aside every time you have to fight one? Are you going to make someone else fight for you? Asadi lowers his eyes. Things aren't always black and white, Asadi. There's a big chunk of gray in between. Your beliefs are noble, but when it comes to training, they're misplaced. This isn't about male and female. This is about survival. I'm not teaching you these techniques just for your protection. I'm training you so you won't get us killed. You're a member of the guild now. What you do affects us. And if you feel the need to step aside, you might as well step out. Asadi turns away. He has never violated his own code before, never made an excuse to do so. His father and brothers had excuses, always claiming righteousness while dispensing evil. He can't be like them. He won't. But what can he do? Sam is right. He must train. He's a danger to them all. The decision is taken from his hands when a small bell jingles near the door and a woman enters. She wears an expensive mink over her lavender tank top and yoga pants. A large purse hangs over her shoulder. Brown eyes grow wide when they settle on Asadi. "I'm sorry," the woman says. "Am I early?" "No, Ms. Tulane. You're right on time," Sam says. She turns to Asadi. "We'll talk tomorrow." Asadi nods. He steps off the mat and takes a seat on a nearby bench. A clean white towel lies beside him. He blots his face with it. Ms. Tulane remains standing, clutching the strap of her purse until her knuckles grow white. She doesn't speak, and when Asadi catches her eye, she turns her back on him. Sam receives a call while he's pulling on his shoes. It's a brief one, and she doesn't speak much. When she finishes, she approaches Asadi. "Lee wants to see you at the library. She has something to show you." "Right away?" "Yes, it sounded important." "All right." He picks up his gym bag and heads for the door. Asadi glances back just before he exits and finds Ms. Tulane staring at him with wide eyes. She trembles as she looks away. The woman seems more frightened than nervous. Perhaps it's her first class and she's learning self-defense techniques as well. Asadi steps out onto the sidewalk. The bell jingles in his wake. Sheila stands in the studio, her legs like jelly. She will fall if she takes another step. The young man has gone, but his presence at the studio unnerves her. He has seen her and can identify her as the last one to see Sam Karstens alive. "Did you hear me, Ms. Tulane?" Sheila jumps at the sound of Sam's voice. "I'm sorry, what did you say?" "I said we'll begin in a few minutes. I have to make a quick call first." Sheila nods and forces a smile. She sets the mink and the bag down on the bench. The blonde turns her back on Sheila. Sheila unzips the bag. She is an unlikely assassin, but Teague has trained her well. He has walked her through several scenarios and shown her where a quick thrust will do the most damage. "Hi, Freddie," Karsten says. "How are things going?" Sheila pulls the knife from the bag and grips it in her right hand. She creeps toward the blonde on silent feet, halting less than 5 feet away. There will be a small window of opportunity once the call ends, and she must take it. Sheila raises the knife, not overhead like in the movies, but underhand, as though she were pitching a softball, just as Teague taught her. "I'm going to start my last class, but I need to go through the bills before I leave. Should finish around 6:30 or so," Karsten says. "Do you need anything from the Wiggly Pig before I come home?" Sheila takes a deep breath and exhales as silently as possible. She glances toward the door and the large windows. No outside gaze can penetrate the tinted glass, but she still wishes the blinds were closed, the lights dimmed. Most of all, she wishes she could hate Sam Karstens. If only Teague had given her a reason to. She hopes the blonde doesn't turn and face her. She couldn't bear to see those blue eyes when the blade bites deep. "Do we need baby food, Freddie?" Karsten says. "Yes, I know we have plenty of ham. He hates that one." A baby? Karstens is a mother? Teague never mentioned this. "Okay, I'll pick up some diapers, too." I'll see you around. Wait, are we out of that already? Sheila's heart becomes a hammer in her chest. The call is winding down. Time has become a freight train barreling down on her, threatening to crush her. She takes a step forward as Karstens ends the call. When Asadi enters the library, he finds Li Chen seated behind her desk, staring into space. She says nothing as he approaches. Only when he reaches the desk does she acknowledge his presence. Hello, Asadi. Miss Chen, I came as soon as I could. I see you've been training with Sam. Did she do that? She points at Asadi's face. What? Oh, the bruises. No, the Mu Ren Zhuang did that. If Li is surprised, she doesn't show it. She simply nods, rises to her feet, crosses to the door, and locks it. Come with me, she says, leading him toward the kitchen. They enter the small room and pass the table. Li turns a small knob in the wall, the one which resembles a control for the furnace. The secret door swings open. Li leads him down the stairs and into the tunnel. They travel 10 feet before entering the central room. The last time Asadi set foot in here, he'd been in a rush with John and the others. Though he'd been impressed by the high ceiling formed from rock, he hadn't noticed the doorways which led to various antechambers, nor had he counted them. 6 doorways, 3 on each side, met his eye. Brass sconces, each holding a bright electric bulb, have been fastened to the wall outside each one. Li turns into the first doorway on the right. This room is smaller than the first, but no less remarkable. 4 brass sconces, one for each corner of the room, provide a pleasing glow. They reveal a wall at the center, one which has been sculpted by human hands. It is 6 feet high and at least 10 feet long. 4 shelves line the wall. The top 3 are filled with brass urns. The bottom one stands empty. Asadi approaches and studies the vessels. A name and date have been inscribed on each one. The oldest belongs to a Sean McCummer and is dated May 30th, 1969. What is this? Asadi asks. A memorial wall, Li replies, for those slain by evil. I thought the victims were buried in the graveyard. Only the loved ones of the guild are buried there. These are townspeople and strangers who have passed through Stillwater, never to be seen again. You cremated their bodies? Yes. We have a kiln for such use. It is located at an abandoned logging camp. If you follow the central tunnel from the central room, it will take you there. She motions to the urns. One day, we hope to return these remains to their families. For now, we protect them here. Asadi walks along the wall. The farther down he travels, the more recent the dates on the urns. How do you know their names? From identification found on their bodies. He pauses before one dated December 23rd, 2001. This one has no name. Unfortunately, there are many like this one on the wall. They are unknown to us. Asadi's heart grows leaden in his chest. To lose someone, as he has lost Takia, is tragic enough. To lose someone and never know their fate is far worse. Lost souls, he whispers. Believe it or not, Li says, these people are the lucky ones. Sheila weeps. The forest path grows narrow before her. Branches tear at the thin fabric of her tank top and grow tangled in her hair. They scratch at her pale skin. She hurries on. Soon she'll reach the edge of the wood and the library. From there, she'll make her way to the Jackson Resort. Her purse hangs over her right shoulder, but she's forgotten the mink. It's still draped over the bench back at Core Fitness. She doesn't care, though. She'll never go back there again. Her cell phone rings for the 3rd time, vibrating in her hand. She slows. It's another call from Teague. She takes a deep breath and answers. Is it done? He asks. Anguish distorts her words as she sobs into the phone. Teague speaks, but she drowns him out. She can't gain control, can't stop. He shouts at her, and when the words finally reach her, they cut her to the core. "Shut up, you stupid bitch." She falls silent. "Did you get the job done?" he repeats. I couldn't." "You what?" "I couldn't do it. Oh, Teague, I'm so sorry. I said I would, and I wanted to, but she has a baby. You didn't tell me she had a baby." She steels herself for a barrage of abuse, for venom-tipped words which will strip her to the soul. They never come. What he says next is far worse. "I thought you were the one. I thought you loved me." "I do love you." "I've been so hurt by women before. I had to test you. You failed." No, I love you." "You're lying." "No, let me prove it to you. I'll go back there. It's too late. You're like the others. I can't trust you." "Don't say that. You can trust me. I was weak, but I understand now. Just give me another chance." I can't." "Teague, please. I'd give anything for you." "Anything? What about your life? Would you give that?" "You know I would." A long moment of silence stretches between them. It seems he's slipped away without saying goodbye. "Teague?" "I'll be waiting on the pier. Come to me." Sheila's vision blurs. "Oh, darling, I will. I'm coming now." "Hurry." Sheila breaks into a run. From now on, she'll do whatever he wants. She will never disappoint him again. Lee leads Asadi from the first chamber and to the door of the next. When she opens it, a foul stench permeates the air. The ceiling here is much lower than in the previous chambers. Naked bulbs hang above, and Asadi blinks against their harsh lighting. There are no brass sconces in this room. "Welcome to our laboratory," Lee says. Tables line each of the 4 walls, each one covered with test tubes, beakers, Bunsen burners, and other pieces of unidentifiable lab equipment. A refrigeration unit stands at the back of the room along with several tall wooden cabinets. Lee opens one, displaying several shelves and the plastic totes which sit upon them. Each tote is transparent, sealed with a white plastic lid, and labeled with a black marker. The contents remind Asadi of the Universal horror movies he'd watched while at college. One contains a strange appendage with 3 fingers. Another contains remnants of a monstrous face. "We study the things which come from the bay," Lee says. "It's the only way to learn where they've come from, how they exist here, and what they eat." Strangely enough, this world and their world aren't that different when it comes to prey and predator. Some creatures have developed defenses against the others. "Like armor?" Asadi says, pointing to a large tote and the spiked scale inside. "Yes, they've developed toxins and psychotropic excretions as well. We exploit these natural defenses and use them to arm ourselves." "We can use monsters to fight monsters." Lee nods. "Where do you think I got the blood to bait the mazakim?" "I thought you used human blood." "No, I used Stierska blood. It's much sweeter, and no vampiric creature can resist it." Asadi shudders. "Come," Lee says, "there's more to see." The third room is like the library above, filled with books. These volumes, however, deal with occult subjects. Asadi brushes a finger across one leather cover. It seems ancient, so ancient he dares not open it. The pages might crumble between his fingertips. "I have always believed," Lee says, "that readers will inherit the earth. They're the only ones with the courage to seek answers, whether they like them or not." Can every answer be found in a book? I think most can. Do you need an answer, Asadi? Though he avoids her eyes, the question compels him, and the answer slips out. Sam tried training me today. She wanted me to throw a punch at her, but I couldn't do it. Why? I won't strike a woman. Because you think them weaker? No, it's not. I don't think that. This is about my father and how he treated women. When my mother disobeyed him, he beat her. He beat her before the eyes of his children, his parents. Once he beat her in the marketplace before strangers. He took pleasure in causing her pain. I swore I'd never be like him. You think training with Sam will turn you into your father? You'll enjoy hurting her? No, I didn't say that. But you fear it. He tries to hold back, but the word is forced from his lips. Yes. Lee picks a book from the shelf and hands it to Asadi. The leather is cold in his hands. What is that? She asks. It's the Quran. A book which has inspired great evil. That's not true. Lee raises an eyebrow. Was your father a follower of the Quran's teachings? Yes, but then you shouldn't read it. You could become like him. No, Asadi cries. The Quran is a book of peace. My father and others like him used it to support their evil. They twisted the knowledge in it. I choose. Asadi trails off. He stares into Lee's dark eyes, and for a moment, a chill climbs his spine. I choose not to. Choice is a great power, Lee says. It's the keystone of humanity. Your instincts, your intuition, none of these dictate who you are. Your choices do. She leads him back into the largest chamber. I'd prefer it if you stay out of the 3 rooms opposite, Lee says. The contents are secret, even to members of the guild. They hold objects which must never be spoken of, things which those who worship evil covet. Has anyone ever breached these tunnels? Not as yet. What would happen if they did? Who protects them? I'm here. I'm always here. You? Can you fight, Miss Chen? Lee grins. Without a word, she turns back toward the main tunnel. They return to the library's kitchen and close the secret door behind them. The kitchen is warm and inviting after the chill of the chambers below. There's one more thing I should tell you, Lee says. The creatures are not the only evil in Stillwater. There are humans, too. Humans who can be just as deadly and cruel. They serve the bay and all that comes out of it. Some of them are called here. Most of them congregate at the Jackson Resort. Robert Jackson is their leader. Robert Jackson? The billionaire? Lee nods. Son of Hezekiah Jackson and grandson of Zeke. Hezekiah Jackson? Senator Jackson? What is he doing now? Last time I saw him, he was burning in hell. Her face holds no hint of a smile, and the tone is matter-of-fact. Asadi shakes his head. She is a strange one. Maybe the strangest one in the guild. We believe Robert Jackson has made a deal with the evil which comes from the bay, Lee continues. Deontay was a masseuse there and our spy. He told us something was coming. Had he lived, he might have told us what. So, you don't know what it is? They said you receive visions. Can't you see what will happen next? Lee smiles. Visions come to me, Asadi. I cannot seek them. All I can do is wait. She takes him to the front door and opens it. He lingers, a question burning in his mind. Miss Chen, you said choices make us who we are. Yes? How do you know if you're making the right ones? Lee pauses, her eyes distant. The selfish choice often leads to the darkest road, Asadi. Avoid it if you can. Sheila Tulane stands on the pier at Jackson Resort. She hasn't changed or showered, hasn't taken time to bandage the scratches and cuts which cover her skin. She is alone. Teague Harmon is nowhere to be found. He must be angry, must hate her. She has called him 3 times, and he still hasn't answered. She can't even leave a voicemail. Sheila brushes a tear from her cheek. Teague's words, though they'd been kind near the end of the conversation, still haunt her. He'd called her a stupid bitch, his tone cold, disgusted. Was that what he really thought of her? Her mind turns to Sam and she shivers. He wanted her to kill the blonde. And if the woman hadn't been a mother, she would have done it. She would have murdered for him. A man who may not love her at all. Sheila's gaze drifts toward the parking lot. Her car waits there. She could go to her room, pack, and depart before anyone knows she's gone. Maybe it's time to go home. Her son and daughter are there. Just because her marriage is over doesn't mean she can't be a good mother. She could leave this place and Teague Harmon behind. For the first time in days, her mind seems clear. She steps off the pier and heads for the main building. Sheila. She turns at the sound of his voice. He's standing in the sand behind her, a champagne glass in each hand, wearing swim shorts and nothing else. Where are you going? Teague asks. I thought you weren't coming. I wanted to get you something to drink. He holds the glass out to her. She steps back, her hands at her sides. I should change. My clothes, they're torn. Don't worry about it. You won't be wearing them long anyway. He steps closer, radiating heat, smelling of spiced cologne. His lips brush her own. God, he's gorgeous. Take the glass, he whispers. She does. Now drink. She sips. It's thick, salty. There's a hint of tequila. What is this? He grins. My own special brew. He takes her by the hand and leads her back toward the bay, toward the sand and the water. She finishes the drink. Face the water, he says, slipping behind her. She shudders as he strips her, the goosebumps rising over her skin in waves. His lips graze her right ear. He whispers in it. Did you mean it when you said you'd die for me? She leans back against him, wet and ready. If he doesn't touch her soon, she will die. Yes. He steps away. She's ready. A bright, blinding light pierces the darkness behind her, shining over her. Sheila can't move, can't even blink against it. Voices swell behind her. People creep around the edge of her vision. She can feel their stares, hear their murmured words. Turn around, a voice says. Sheila recognizes the voice of Robert Jackson, the resort's owner. She faces him. Jackson stands between Teague and a young woman. The woman bears a silver tray which holds a black cowboy hat and a bleached bone. Behind them stand well over 100 people. Some she recognizes as employees of the resort, most are clients. Jackson wears a white shirt and jeans. A knife, sheathed in leather, adorns his belt. "Welcome, my people," Jackson cries. He raises both hands, palm up. "Welcome to the night of consent." The crowd roars. Our master grows hungry. His strength fails him. The bodies of the dead do little to sustain him, and our enemies have stolen most of them away. We must sate our master. We must give him the flesh and blood he craves. The faces of the crowd grow eager, almost fierce. Sheila's breath grows ragged. A small moan escapes her lips. But the sacrifice must be a willing one, and consent must be given. Over 50 years ago, my grandmother, Sarah Jackson, agreed to be the first sacrifice. The bone from her ring finger lies here upon the tray. She opened the door beneath the bay and began our glorious journey. She enriched us, empowered us. He gestures to Sheila. And like Sarah, Sheila Tulane has agreed to do the same. We owe her our veneration. The murmur of the crowd rises. Teague circles around behind Sheila and once again presses his lips to her ear. I am honored you chose me, he says. He grasps hold of her left hand. Hold out your ring finger. This may hurt. She stretches her finger out. Jackson pulls the knife from its sheath. It resembles the one Teague gave her, only the handle is black. Jackson raises it above her hand. The blade is razor sharp. It takes her finger with one slice. Sheila's vision goes dark. Cold water and the sound of the crowd wake her. Her left hand is numb. Teague has her by the right arm. He's pulling her through the water, walking her farther and farther into the bay. I knew you wouldn't disappoint me, Teague says. My bitches never do. He kisses her on the cheek. Walk. Sheila obeys and strides deeper into the bay. Soon it covers her hips, then her breasts and shoulders. By the time the thing wraps its claws about her thigh, the water is over her head. Tiny mouths latch onto her skin and drag her down. The pain shocks her from her stupor. She struggles for a brief moment, fighting against the mouths which chew into her tender skin. Blood taints the water. She rises, surfaces, and screams. The crowd cheers. When Asadi enters Core Fitness, he finds Sam at her desk. A mink coat lies on the bench nearby, but there's no sign of the owner. Sam looks up as he approaches. Hi, Asadi. What's up? I've thought about what you said, and I've decided I want you to train me. You're okay with fighting me? If it will help the guild, I guess I am. She smiles and rises to her feet. Up for a little practice? Okay. Let's go. Asadi removes his shoes and joins Sam at the mat. Come at me, she says. Give me all you got. Asadi strikes out. Before his fist can even reach Sam, she has him by the arm. She jerks him forward hard. Asadi flails as he loses his balance and crashes to the mat. Come on, Sam says. Asadi scrambles up. He tries again. Their laughter echoes through the building. Neither hears the crowd at the resort. No one in the town does. The crowd has fallen silent, their eyes on the still water. No one moves nor breathes. All eyes, except those of Teague Harmon, are on the bay and the froth of blood. Teague stoops and plucks Sheila's slender finger from the sand. He shuts his eyes and kisses the tip. Down in the bay, beyond the reach of human eyes, a chasm widens. A dark being squeezes through and rises to the surface.
This episode was brought to you by Crystal Lake Publishing, scaring the shit out of people since 2012. So if Stillwater Bay kept you up tonight, wait until you see what else we publish. Find your next sleepless night at crystallakepub.com.